Wondering whether it's worth building your own website and selling directly to consumers? Or if it's better to go online through an online marketplace or both? It's a question many New Zealand exporters have asked. Of course, there are pros and cons to each, but what really matters is finding the best way to reach customers that will press the most important button: complete purchase. Let's say you're a beverage exporter looking to tap into the UK market. There are quite a few ways to go about it. You could set up a website to sell your soda. You could list it on Amazon. You could try to rub shoulders with a buyer at Ocado. You could even sell through Instagram. But how do you know which one is right for you? Many New Zealand exporters have smaller budgets than local competitors who can afford to use all of the channels available at once. But if that's not you, how can you decide where to use your resources wisely? With all of the competition out there, it can cost a lot to get noticed. The first step is finding out where your customers are shopping, and that's different for every market. In China, that might be Alibaba, but in the UK, online retailers like Tesco or Ocado are popular. So let's talk marketplaces. Marketplaces can be a great door into a big user base that's already set up. They're convenient. Products are categorized and presented in a way that encourages sales. Shoppers can compare products easily, and the payment process is simple. You can also often tap into their logistics and customer service, so you don't have to fork out to set these up yourself. But even though there are a lot of customers, there's usually a lot of competition too. Marketplaces are driven by algorithms. So to get your product near the top of search results, you'll need to get your listing right and pay to promote your products. You'll also need to meet the marketplace's requirements, which could include getting products to warehouses at specific times and in specific quantities, which can be tricky from New Zealand. Plus, it's harder to build relationships and brand loyalty without access to customer data. To get useful insights, you often need to pay a bit more, and many New Zealand exporters don't budget for that. Let's move on to selling through your own website directly to the consumer. This option gives you more control. You're calling the shots and can build great relationships with your customers. You can find out what they think of your brand, create a user-friendly interface that reflects your brand, and interact with your customers throughout the whole journey. Building brand loyalty is much easier through D2C because you've got the data you need to understand purchasing patterns and get feedback through channels like email. There are still downsides. Setting up your own website is an investment, and the costs can add up when you're trying to make it a great experience for the customer. That's not the only part that takes more effort. Without a marketplace, reaching customers can be really hard and expensive. One New Zealand food and beverage company decided to set up its own website and sell directly in China, but struggled to reach enough customers to cover their investment. So they decided to do things another way and listed their products on an online marketplace. Finally, don't forget that with D2C, you'll need to manage deliveries yourself. This is great, but it means you're responsible for everything from fulfillment to returns, which can have additional hidden costs. It's a huge effort to manage a supply chain from New Zealand to the UK, for example, and unplanned returns can catch you out. A multi-channel approach where you're selling through, say, your website and a marketplace isn't a bad idea. Customers love choices. If your market has a go-to marketplace for consumers and there aren't many barriers to being listed, like Amazon in the US, setting yourself up on them can be a great place to start. If it's harder to get listed or you're trying to build brand awareness, having your own website means you can test the market or build a profile for your brand that helps with getting onto a marketplace. Standing up your own branded website is always a good idea. The real decisions are where and how to spend your marketing budget. Ultimately, understanding the market you're in and where your customers are going to find you is an important first step. For more information and help on exporting, please visit MyNZTE.